It was the 90s, a time for multicolored superhero suits and multiple superhero animated series franchises, including Batman the Animated Series, the X-Men Animated Series, and also the 94 Spider-Man Animated Series. Hi, I'm your host Travis, and on this week's episode of Save Toys, we'll be doing our first ever two-part episode where we'll be reviewing the Spider-Man Animated Series from 94, as well as an action figure from that series. Stay tuned and do not adjust your settings on YouTube, and hold on for a great Save Toys review. Spider-Man the Animated Series was such an important part of my childhood. It was a staple for me for Saturday morning cartoons, as well in the afternoons after school on the Fox Kids channel. It first aired in November of 94 and ran all the way to January of 98 with a total of 5 seasons and 65 episodes. I loved it as a kid, and it gave me many reasons to love it. One of the reasons is the many crossovers and cameos and introductions of superheroes into its series, including a crossover between the X-Men animated series that was a two-part. You got to see great superheroes make their appearance, such as Daredevil, the Punisher, and Blade. It also had my first exposure to the black-suited Spider-Man storyline in a saga that spanned from when Peter Parker first wore the black suit all the way into the Venom saga. I actually had that recorded on VHS back in those kind of days, so I could watch it on demand. And in the 90s, that was our version of on demand. It was recorded on VHS, pop it in your VCR, and then you could watch it whenever you wanted to. Great series, and you can actually find it now today on Google Play, YouTube, and Amazon Prime. So now we're going to go step over to the review booth, and I'm going to show you the action figure that was donated to the channel from that series. Meet me over there. Welcome back to the review booth for quite possibly my favorite part of every Save Toys episode, and that's the hands-on reviewing of action figures here in the review booth. This action figure was donated to the Save Toys channel by Pam Housley for this two-part episode. Thank you very much, Pam Housley. And also, before we get into this any further, I want to discuss some of my past with action figures. Up until about a year ago, I was the kind of figure collector that kept everything in the package, as that does generally lend to more of a higher value for the action figure. But then I realized action figures are meant to be open and displayed, especially a Spider-Man action figure. Now, every now and then I come across a great figure packaging that I just can't touch. With that being said, I'm going to open this one and do a more in-depth review on it on the second part of this episode next time on Save Toys. But with that said, this packaging is fantastic. Very reminiscent of the 90s TV series that it was based off of. On the back, you can check out his, let's see if we can get that glare out of the way. Let's see, there we go. The bio of this character, and also a picture of all the action figures in this wave. Now, one thing I remember as a kid when I had this action figure, it has a great action feature that I want to really go in more detail and talk about next week. It's a little bit of a surprise. No cheating, no looking it up on the internet this week. But I want to note that it comes with a spider web, this rubber spider web with the spider symbol in the middle, and also the black-suited Spider-Man ring right here. And that's all for the review booth on this week's episode. I'll meet you at the Nerd Cave, and next week we'll be cracking this baby open. That concludes the first half of our first ever two-part episode here at Save Toys. Wow, that's a mouthful. Check us out on Save Toys YouTube next week for the conclusion of this episode, where we'll go into more in-depth review of that action figure you just saw at the review booth, the 94 Spider-Man Animated Series Black-Suited Spider-Man, my favorite suit that he ever wore. Special thanks to Pam Housley for donating that action figure to the channel for us to review. Like and subscribe to us here at Save Toys YouTube. Check us out at Save Toys Facebook. If anyone's interested in donating an action figure to the channel, check us out at our P.O. Box, Save Toys, P.O. Box 211, Blackshear, Georgia, 31516. We'll be glad to review the action figure, do an episode for you that'll entitle you to be a part of Save Toys Premium, our page on Save Toys Facebook, where you'll get all the episodes a week in advance. You'll get exclusive episodes that never even make it to Save Toys YouTube, and also some private discussions we do every now and then. Until next week, if you like it, collect it. That concludes the first ever, and from 94,